Hi guys, sorry for the delay that we didn't get you a video last week. However, we didn't feel we accomplished as much as we wanted to, and so we thought it better to just combine the couple of weeks together. We've been busy with work, as well as it's been very hot and very humid, so we've been less productive. However, we did manage to go ahead and put up more tarp to give us more rainproofing in the area because we have the outdoor kitchen and everything. So now that's all covered and we can wash dishes and cook in the rain.
And not get rained on.
Right.
Especially now that it's not on the ground, because I made a lovely table. There it is, out of pallets. Up the stairs there. So now we actually have our wash tubs up off the ground on the shelf, and we have like a drying area, or we use it for prep cook. And then I've also stored some of our tools on the shelves underneath those shelves. And now that it's covered, we don't have to worry about getting rained on while we're doing dishes. We get to actually enjoy our outdoor kitchen a little more. And that just makes it easier. Because who wants to be bending down on the ground doing dishes like now? Up off the ground, these lovely tubs, which I scavenged from my last job at Trader Joe's. So that's perfect. Really, they've really come in handy for a lot of things.
Yeah, and because we don't have running water, we use a military style where you wash, rinse, and then dip in Clorox water so for sanitation. And so try not to get sick, you know?
And it really works. It's really, really easy kind of thing, especially if you're doing long-term camping like this. You need something to make it more sanitized kind of thing. So yeah, that's something that we've accomplished is the tarps, table, nicer area that we're actually living in at the moment. Then we did get some little work done on the plates on the actual building.
So we're going to end up replacing that secondary post right there. That wood's just, I mean, we like to look at it, but the wood's too soft. It's already started to decompose. So I'm going to cut a new post and we'll get that replaced eventually. Right now, we've been working on getting them all stained up. We're not going all the way to the top because we want to put the headers on first, see exactly where they land. This one, almost got it. Almost.
We've been skinning them like that, which is giving this beautiful color right here. And then after we've seen it, it gives this beautiful tint to it here, which is like this really lovely honey color, and some of the stripes and stuff, the darker spots, so it's helping the wood pop and really become even more beautiful.
And all these are going to be exposed as even when we finish the house. They're gonna stay exposed on the outside and the inside. So you're still going to be able to see those even once we get the walls up. So we really wanted to take some time and make sure we got those right to make sure that it really gave a good accent to the house. The other big thing that I've been working on, as I mentioned in the last video that I was going to be working on, was this drainage trench. And so right now I have half of it done. 4 different walls completed. And if you look right here, we did get some heavy rain. And this is how much it filled up in here.
It's kind of hard. I'm going to have to dip this down.
So all the way up to here is where the water came to. So it's working. At first we were thinking about using French drain pipe and putting in rock and then the French drain pipe and then running it out the back. But we talked to one of our neighbors, old lady in the mud house. If you haven't watched her YouTube videos, she's doing something very similar to us right up the street. She was saying because the clay is so consistent out here and so thick and it maintains its form no matter what, it would be okay if we didn't use the drain pipe and just put in the rock as the drain itself and put landscaping fabric on top to keep it from the soil going in. So I think that's what we're going to do.
a little easier of an option, a little cheaper of an option. And with all the digging and stuff, there is now 1, 2, 3, 4 sides all done, with that giant drain ditch. So yeah, 50% of that done.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
Yeah, so and that's a lot of work because I'm doing it all with a post hole digger, and I'm going down about 2 feet, foot and a half, 2 feet, as far as I can before I hit the bedrock or the harder clay that pretty much stops me from going any deeper.
Yeah.
But even though the frost line isn't very deep around here, the main goal is to get below the frost line, make sure that all that water is draining so that it doesn't freeze and get underneath our foundation. And that's when you start getting those rises and the cracks in the foundation.
Yeah. I don't know too much about that, but he is very brilliant in it, so I'm excited that he knows and I don't. So I just try to do what I can. Let's see, with getting more of the tarps over there, we were actually able to move one of the other tarps over to the bathroom and kind of make the bathroom coverage roof a little more.
Well, because we were using one of those chintzy blue tarps and they don't hold up worth
They
a
don't.
dang, so we figured might as well replace it since we were going ahead and covering all this.
Yeah, so if you need a tarp and you need to actually do stuff, don't get the blue one. I know it's a little bit more to get some of the heavier duty, but it's worth it.
And we were lucky. We did our research. We scouted them out. We found the one that's over there. We found on sale for 40% off. So we had to go to one store to get that. These we had ended up finding at Harbor Freight, and they were almost half off. So we are very frugal with what we spend, so we can get the best deal that we can.
Speaking of deals and other things.
Oh, you're gonna show that? Okay.
We also picked up a very fun new thing that is going to make permanent living here just really so much better and awesome. And though we don't have much to do with it at this moment, it is very, very soon going to become such a wonderful thing that we picked up at a great deal.
And it's definitely our first component that we're going to need for living off grid, because our plan is to eventually have solar panels, a battery bank where they're paralleled, so we're getting more voltage out of them. And so but everybody has inclement weather. Sometimes you have a week of inclement weather. So what do you need in case you have bad weather and you can't get the solar panels charging your batteries?
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Generator power.
This is another thing that we researched. This one is actually bigger than the one we were originally researching. The one that we were originally researching, this is a Predator brand. We got it at Harbor Freight as well. They are compared to the Hondas at half the price, pretty much. And we did read through a lot of the customer reviews. People are ecstatic about these things. As long as you're maintaining them the way that they're supposed to be maintained. People have been using these for years to power their house as their backup for inclement weather if their power goes out. Especially a lot of people have sump pumps, things like that have to stay running no matter what, so they don't flood out. But we got this on such a good deal that we decided to go with a bigger one, because it was practically the same price as the one we were looking at. It was smaller. So yeah, soon we'll have power.
Power. There you go. It will run a full house. Refrigerator, air conditioning, power tools, lights, pump, anything like that. It's definitely going to be, it's a big purchase for a big duty. And yes, I just said duty.
It's 7,000 running watts, but it has an 8750 peak. So it can definitely handle like the refrigerator kicking on, things like that jump the usage for those peak moments. So it definitely was a good purchase. It hurt a lot to actually spend the money, but I knew it was the first component and we really needed it, especially because as soon as we finished putting all the cinder blocks around the outside for that foundation, laying that, setting the foundation, then we're going to need to start using power tools to start putting up the roof and the studs for the walls and everything else.
That requires power.
Yeah.
So, power. That was our big awesomeness of this week. And this next week, there's a lot more things coming up. We're finally catching up on stuff to get more of the ball rolling and be able to start showcasing a little more and more awesomeness.
Yeah.
Really.
A couple of setbacks, but a couple of really far advances. So, all in all, it plays out. It evens itself out in the long run. So, we're thankful for every day that we get to spend out here. We're having an awesome time doing this. This is definitely going to be something that we get to look back on and with fond memories of things that we accomplished. And the really great thing is because we're doing this kind of video diary with you guys, we get to share it with you in the moment. You get to see it unfold, but we can also have something that we can look back on when it's all said and done.
So, thank you. Happy week. And hope to see you again next week with even more.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Bye.